dimensioning a floor plan usually takes hours. With this, it takes seconds, fast, accurate, and always up to date, on one level or all of them at once. This is the smartest way to dimension in Revit. First, we open the ArchPlug tab and click on the Settings button. Under Account, we enter the email we registered with and click Save. Once the status shows connected, all of our activated plugins are ready to use. The Scripts folder just below is only needed for the fast script launcher, so we can skip it. Installed Plugins lists every plugin we own, along with its version, and flags any plugin that has a newer version available online. It also shows each plugin's license type, whether it is monthly or lifetime. And finally, the theme option lets us switch the plugin dialogues between light and dark. Today we're presenting one of the most useful ArchPlug tools. One-click line dimensions. This plugin solves a problem every architect knows: manually dimensioning walls in Revit. Instead of placing each dimension one at a time, picking references one by one and adjusting alignment, this tool does it automatically, based on a single ordinary line that you draw over the plan. The process starts with a tool you already know from Revit: Detail Line, an ordinary line for details. We'll draw a line across the part of the plan we want to dimension. And we can also draw several shorter lines at different places on the plan. Since each line will get its own dimension once we run the plugin, the window that opens is simple and clear, and holds a few options. For now, we'll click the Place Dimensions button and place dimensions along the lines we drew. At this point, the plugin recognizes all the walls the line crosses, places small reference markers exactly at those intersection points, and based on them generates one complete, tidy dimension string, with all the segments, wall thicknesses, and the gaps between them all aligned in one line. All of this happens with a single click, instead of us manually picking each edge one by one. What sets this tool apart from ordinary dimensioning is that it works just as well when the walls aren't at a right angle. If we have a slanted facade, or a wall that's rotated relative to the rest of the building, the plugin still recognizes the correct intersections and places the reference points, so all elements stay aligned in one dimension string, regardless of the angle. Likewise, by turning on the option that skips the exterior wall thickness, specifically for the first and last wall along the line, the plugin recognizes the difference between the inner and outer wall edges. That means when a dimension spans the full thickness of the facade wall, the plugin automatically knows to take the outer edge for the endpoints, and the inner edge for everything in between, exactly how we dimension it manually, by convention. This really stands out with more complex, irregular floor plans, where manual dimensioning would otherwise take a lot of time. The next powerful option is working across multiple levels. Instead of repeating this process on every level separately, the plugin offers an all levels mode. When it's turned on, the plugin takes the saved line group for every level that has one, and draws dimensions on all of those levels at once, in a single pass. On top of that, there's also a dedicated function for copying lines from one level to others. When we open this side panel with the list of levels, every level that has saved lines can be locked as the source. For example, here we see one level has saved lines. We lock it as the source by clicking the padlock icon. Then, by ticking the checkboxes of all the remaining levels, or just the ones we want, we can transfer all the lines by clicking the copy button. And that's very useful when a building has an identical layout of walls across multiple levels. With a click on the copy button, those lines are physically drawn on all the selected levels and are ready to be dimensioned. We can also tick the checkbox list using Shift to instantly select a whole range of levels, just like we do with other ArchPlug tools. In this side panel we see the list of all levels and the number of saved lines for each of them. If we made a mistake, or a dimension is no longer needed on some level, for example on this level, we click the Delete Lines for Selected Level button. And the plugin deletes the lines, the dimensions, and the reference markers for that level, without affecting the other levels. Once we finish dimensioning, we often want to remove the helper lines from the drawing, without deleting them, since we might need them later. For example, if the project changes. That's why the plugin has dedicated options. Hide all lines, which, with a click, makes the plugin hide all the lines we used as guides. And unhide all lines brings them back whenever we need them. Completely independent of that, there are also the hide all dimensions and unhide all dimensions options, which bring dimensions back, doing the exact same thing, just for the dimensions themselves. This gives us full control. We can have a clean, tidy drawing for printing, and at any moment bring everything back and keep working. Projects change often, and walls get moved. Instead of redrawing the lines and repeating the whole process, it's enough to click again the Place Dimensions button, and the plugin recognizes that a saved line group already exists. For that level, it rereads the current state of the walls and openings and updates the whole dimension string, so it matches the new state of the project automatically, without manually moving a single dimension. It's enough to draw a single line across part of the plan and click Place Dimensions, and the plugin automatically dimensions every wall and opening that line crosses, respecting slanted walls as well as the outer and inner edges, since all levels have the line copying function between them. You can dimension the whole building in a few minutes instead of hours. Whenever the project changes, one click on Place Dimensions updates all the dimensions, while the hide and unhide functions keep the drawing tidy whenever you need it. That's all for one-click line dimensions. Thanks for watching. If you found this useful, make sure to check out our other videos on the channel, and visit archplug.com to explore all the plugins we have available. See you in the next one.